so confusing. I don't get it. What's the big deal about the Colombian Exchange?
Don't worry, Julieta. It's not that complicated. The Colombian Exchange is one of the most important events in world history. It's when goods, crops, animals, and even diseases were exchanged between the Americas and the rest of the world as Christopher Columbus's voyage.
Wait, so Columbus went to the Americas and brought stuff back? Like what?
Exactly, but it wasn't just Columbus. His voyages opened doors for a huge exchange of things. Let's break it down. The Americas had things like potatoes, corn, and tomatoes that we knew to Europe, Africa, and Asia. These crops changed the way people lived around the world.
Wait, so corn and potatoes came from the Americas? I thought they were just normal foods.
Yep, corn was a huge crop for people in the Americas. And potatoes, they became a staple in places like Ireland and Russia. Potatoes are what helped feed millions of people in Europe because they're easy to grow and full of nutrients.
Okay, but what did the old world give to the Americas? It's not just about crops, right?
Right, the Europeans brought a lot too, like wheat, sugar, and coffee. They also introduced horses, cattle, and pigs to the Americas. Before that, there were no horses or cows on the continent.
No cows or horses? That's crazy. So what happened to Native Americans when all these things were exchanged?
Unfortunately, the exchange wasn't that good. Along with plants and animals, Europeans brought diseases like smallpox, which devastated Native American populations because they had no immunity to them. Whole societies were wiped out by diseases they'd never encountered before.
That's so sad. But did the Colombian Exchange only affect the Americas, or did it also affect Africa and Asia?
Great question. Africa was heavily affected too. Europeans took millions of Africans as slaves to work on plantations in the Americas. They also brought new crops to Africa, like maize and peanuts. As for Asia, they got things like tobacco and chocolate.
So basically the Colombian Exchange connected the entire world in a way that hadn't happened before. Some things were really helpful, but others not so much.
Exactly, it was a mix of good and bad. The Colombian Exchange completely reshaped the global economy, diets, and even cultures. But it's also important to remember that it led to the exploitation and suffering of many people, especially Native Americans and the Africans.
I see now. It wasn't just trade, it changed the course of history.
Exactly, the Colombian Exchange didn't just affect the people alive at the time, it reshaped the world we live in today.
Thanks, Amara. I think I got it now. It's a lot more than just crops, animals.
You got it. This is the reason why history is so interesting. There's always more layers to uncover.
Okay.
Bro, this is crazy. We gotta be even. Oh, I like that short. Oh, was it that short? Okay. Exactly. It was a mix of good and bad. The Colombian Exchange didn't completely reshape. I said didn't I?
Yeah.